Hello, this is Jim Belden for my weekly video. It is November 2nd, Wednesday, 2016. Today I want to talk about pivoting, which pivoting probably best known for in basketball where you quickly change direction, but also applies to life itself. So, and where I got this idea is actually from a book I recently read by Adam Marco. It's called Pivot, and there you go. So, the reason I got it is because in my life right now, so I'm working a job, and it's okay, but I'd prefer to be doing other things. So, as I've mentioned in other videos, I've got things going on the side that I'm getting going. And in this particular case, I'm keeping my job and working on the other things on the side. Back in 2009, I had a really high-paying job, 6 figures. But I was under a lot of stress and working all the time, nights, weekends, everything. I'm in the software industry, IT software stuff. So I was really burnt out, really stressed, and I wanted to try something different. So at that point, I did do a pivot. I quit my job and tried my hand at internet marketing, and I was okay at it. But I had a lot of other things going on that, I had a mortgage payment on a condo in West LA, which wasn't cheap. And then on top of that, because I quit my job, I had to pay for my own insurance, and insurance is not cheap, health insurance. And then taxes and other miscellaneous things come up when you own a condo. So every month I had a lot of money going out, and because I didn't already have my business established and stuff, not a whole lot of money coming in. And so it was a very risky move, and in my case it didn't work out. I started out with a plan. I had pretty good savings, saying, well, I'd try for about a year, see how it goes, and if it didn't work out, hey, no problem, I'm in IT and software, I can find a job very easily. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't that easy to find a job, and so I started not only going through my savings, I had to start digging into my 401k and everything else, and so it's I'm still paying for that up to this day. So that particular pivot hurt me quite a bit. So eventually, I did get a job, so I guess it has sort of a happy ending. And a lot of lessons learned from that one. So here I am several years later, and once again I'm working full time, pretty good salary, but it's not really what I want to do, and so I'm looking to make another pivot at some point in the future here. And once again, my expenses are high only because I have some debt from my previous time trying this, and so I'm still paying that off. But this time around, I'm doing it a little bit differently in that, from what I learned from the last time, is I'm keeping my job until I make sure that my plan is in place. I can make enough money at it to survive on, and I'm going to be successful at it. Last time I just, as they say, burned the ships and just went for it. This time I'm not, I don't think that's such a great idea. And I see a lot of other people talking about this, burn the ships. I see a lot of younger guys, I'm going to drop out of college, or I'm going to go move to this city and I don't have a job, or, all this stuff. It's very risky. I give them a lot of credit for that, but if it doesn't work out, man, it can hurt you in the long run. So I don't know if that's the approach I'd take. And so some of the other things, and actually in the book Pivot, that he mentions, and this is actually the way I'm working it now, is instead of taking the burn the ships type approach, is chunk it down, do small things, take smaller steps, work toward it that way, be persistent, and don't be in such a hurry. Work at it over time, several months or years or whatever, and you can eventually get there. But it's a lot less risky. You don't jeopardize as much, and you can, you have a better chance of success rather than just jumping in and then having all this other stress built up about, what am I going to do if this doesn't work out, or you know, you just don't have all that additional stress on yourself. And so I think it's a better approach. The other thing is you got to be very, very clear of what you want and set your goals. And that's, that's a whole nother conversation about goal setting and being clear on what you want and the approach you take. But that is something also to be very clear about. The other thing is you've got to have a supportive team. If your family or, your partner or whatever won't support you, then it makes it a lot harder. Anybody who's into self-help has heard this a lot. You've got to surround yourself with the people that will support you. So if you don't have people that will support you in your pivot and stuff, then that's also going to be a big challenge. And so you'll want to find a group that can help you with that pivot, or believes in you, or at least is on the same path as you. And so that's just some of the things. And like I said, I'm going through this myself. And I am chunking it down. I do have people around me for some of the things, that they, every time I tell them what I'm doing, they kind of snicker or whatever. But it doesn't bother me, because I also know that there's people out there that, do support me. And, I'm involved in different groups and stuff. Different Facebook groups, for example, meetups, conferences, and things like that, where you'll meet people that are doing the same thing. If you can find a mentor, that's always a big bonus or a plus. Someone that you can talk to and help guide you along the path. That's, a huge thing as well. It's a lot easier on the path, of a pivot if there's people there along the path with you, rather than going it alone. But, if you have to go it alone, sometimes you have to go it alone too. So anyway, really, that's all I want to talk about this week, is looking at pivots, some approaches to it. And I'm interested in, if any of you have tried it out, what's worked for you, what's not worked for you, what are some of your fears, how are you addressing those fears, those type of things. And like I said, anything that you found that really worked for you or has helped you that I haven't already mentioned, I'd be interested in that, because like I said, I'm going through this myself, and I know a lot of other people are going through similar things. And frankly, a lot of people, the statistics of people that are unsatisfied with their job is, God, I think it's like upwards of 80% or 90% or something like that. So obviously, there's a lot of need for people to change their lives. Not everybody has the guts or willingness to do it, or they're locked into a lot of things. That's part of my problem too, is, I used to have a condo full of stuff, and I still have all that stuff. So there's a lot of things holding people back. But I think the more that, people can pivot toward things that they are more interested in or more appealing, that's going to make their life better, help them help other people and improve their lives, I think it's a win-win for all of us. So anyway, like I said, I'd be interested to know your thoughts on it, and we'll talk to you next week. All right, thanks.